we got some more details on the scrapped role that Man-Thing would have played in Thunderbolts. Now, of course, we already knew that Man-Thing was at one point considered for the film. They tried to write him in. It didn't work. But now we got more context in regards to how they were going to use him and why he didn't make the cut. Okay, so here's more details on why exactly Man-Thing did not make the cut. Now, ultimately, we know it's because at the time, the writers and people behind Thunderbolts didn't know that they were going to be using Man-Thing in the Werewolf by Night special, because why would they know? They weren't working on it, but that's where he ended up going. But Eric Pearson recently talked a little bit about this along with director Jake Schreier. And this is what they said, and it's really interesting. They said that essentially they conceived the Man-Thing as a agent of Valentina, and she essentially wanted him destroyed as he was, well, one, very powerful, but two, he, in her eyes, I guess, was an experiment and a failed attempt that went wrong. And then they said that they wrote him, and when they looked at him, they realized he's kind of a very unpredictable character. And that when they were writing him into the script, they couldn't crack how exactly he would fit into the team. What is he doing? How did they react to him? And what's going on? And then they realized that while we're dealing with Sentry, we're trying to crack his story. How exactly does he come together in this story with Bob, and what are they doing here? So it sounds like that he also would have appeared where Bob is, aka in the incinerator, and he joins the team there by escaping with them. Now, this is honestly a lot. Like, once you toss in Man-Thing, who has godlike powers. Now, I know they haven't really showed those off in the MCU, but he's a Nexus being. Like, you're in a completely different ballpark. And then, by the way they're making it sound, he would have been a creation of Valentina or an experiment gone wrong with whatever she was doing with super soldiers. I guess that kind of would have reframed who he is and what they're doing. But they said they just couldn't figure out how to fit all these characters in. And ultimately, Marvel was like, well, you're trying, but it's not going to fit in because, well, good news for you. You don't have to figure it out because he's in Werewolf by Night. And then they said, well, that gave us the time and focus to go in and focus on just Bob and let them do what they did with Werewolf, which I think both sides won out on that one. And considering both of those projects are in my top 15 MCU projects, I, as a fan, won with characters I love. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.